What's up, guys? Sound Alchemist here with
Gershwan.
We're back at it to answer your questions in another episode of For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we'll get to those questions first.
And this one is by none other than Douglas Mellows. He says, please answer this. I've been trying for a few weeks now. Well, today's your lucky day, Douglas.
Because it's a featured question.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Next question. So he asks, could there be a Necron tomb world buried deep underground Terra? The timings of the end of the dinosaurs and the Necrons going into deep sleep kind of matches up. Could even the Emperor have missed it? Could that explain why the Void Dragon was on Earth for him to fight? And maybe his Golden Throne is Necron tech.
So, the Necron, so the Golden Throne was actually Old One tech. We know that for sure, because of its psychic powers. Necrons don't possess any psychic abilities, so they wouldn't have created something that's psychic. So yeah, and then as far as the Catan being the Void Dragon and being so close to Terra. That's actually a good hypothesis.
Right.
But the reality is that once the Catans were destroyed by the Necrons and the shards were taken, they were probably scattered all over the galaxy. And Mars would have probably been a really good, just random, not special place that later became special.
Yeah, another thing about that theory is that the Void Dragon actually fought against Vol, one of the Eldar gods, and in doing so, he beat him pretty bad, and then he kind of realized that, oh shoot, Warp really F's up all the Catans up. So the Void Dragon started using all its power to build the pylons, such as the ones that were on Cadia, and he used so much energy building these pylons to shut the Eye of Terror and all that stuff, or to at least minimize its impact. Then that weakened state of the Void Dragon went to slumber on Earth, and it didn't end up waking up until that one fight with the Void Dragon and the Emperor, and then the Emperor beat it up, and then he sent it to Mars as a form of making that treaty. Something like that.
Yeah, so there you go.
And I think the Emperor would probably investigate, further into the whole tomb worlds of Necrons, because
it's his home.
Right, and he's basically being, Terra is the most heavily fortified place. To have something right under them to be that big of a threat, I think would be a huge oversight.
Yep.
But, it is a theory that may come to fruition one day.
Maybe. Next question.
This one is by Ash Sunday. Could Guts from Berserk kill a demon Primarch? So I haven't seen Berserk, although everywhere I see Berserk, I feel like it's people are saying it's a really good anime. But yeah, I think he's got a good chance because he can take on demons and whatnot. So
yep,
maybe.
Next question comes from McLenandle. Could a lesser warp entity trick sentient life forms into worshipping by pretending it was a chaos god to gain power for itself, or does the power go to the god it serves? In a Drake's, pretend to be a dragon until the real dragon shows up. Okay, if they can, could they snowball this power into rivaling a chaos god? Or are they permanently gimped by their nature?
What?
Well, because he's saying, so can a lesser warp entity become a chaos god? And the answer is no, because the chaos gods were formed from emotion, raw emotion, not the devotion to that emotion, but just because it happens. So in order for a lesser demon to be as powerful as a chaos god, they would have to come from a specific emotion, and none of them do. They're just demons.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Next question.
This one's by Mr. Kilvin. Is there a regiment of Imperial Guard who have fought against every major enemy of the Imperium? For example, Tau, Tyranids, Orcs, Chaos, and so on. I don't think so, because like the enemies of mankind are so vast and far apart. Like to have a regiment literally basically travel the whole universe, that won't happen. They'll kind of just stay in their own little segment of Imperial space and protect it there. But yeah, because that'll be a very, very expensive campaign, and like you'd need to recruit to. It's just going to be too much.
Yeah. The closest regiment that ever came to that, they didn't travel. They came to the world of Armageddon. So the Armageddon Steel Legion, they fought orcs, of course. They fought chaos, and they knew about Eldar. They didn't fight the Eldar, but they never like fought Tyranids or Tau or all that stuff. Yep. Well, they fought Chaos Space Marines too.
You said that.
Did I?
Yeah.
Next one.
Dragon Punch 903. What would happen if the Tyranids became sentient, like each individual creature rebelling against the hive mind?
It would suck for them.
Yeah, I mean, because like that's pretty much what they're known for. They're known for having a single goal, and that is whatever the hive mind tells them to do. So if they each got their own sense of individuality, then that's going to be throwing major sticks into their game plan.
Yeah, because you got to think about it like this. Like imagine an ant colony, and then all of a sudden, all the ants were like, you know what, screw this. I don't want to carry larvae around for no reason. Then the larva just dies because the moisture gets to them, and then mold grows.
No, and that's never good.
Mm-mm.
It's like, AC family, you are not going to believe this.
The last episode of Ants Canada was on point.
Selva de Fuego.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Next question.
Serbia Strong and like 40 other guys. Could you please tell us the Goop story?
So the year was 2005. I was young. So was the Sound Alchemist. And I went over to the Sound Alchemist's home. And we went to his neighbor's house. His neighbor has actually been on the channel before. If you check out our blooper reel, he's the Black Panther. And I was wearing this super dope, mighty fresh South Pole white zip up hoodie. It was fresh to death.
It was.
I had all the ladies. Well, they didn't really pay attention to me, but because I was young. But it was all white, really nice. And then I guess somebody made the comment, "Let's wrestle." And that's what we used to do. Like everybody in the neighborhood used to just like wrestle each other. And by wrestling, I don't mean like wrestling from school. I mean like put people in arm locks and make them tap out and stuff. But not like WWE wrestling either.
No.
Like this is stuff that I'm surprised none of us got hurt. Yeah. So yeah, that's what we started doing, and I was fighting this one friend whose name is Omar. How's he doing, by the way?
He's very malleable.
And so behind your neighbor's house, there was like a big tub of goop.
I think it was like oil plus a bunch of rain from like years that had just built up. And it was nasty, dude. Like not even bugs were in it. Like that's how nasty this thing was.
And then we were wrestling, and then I remember telling Omar like, "Hey, let's move, because we're getting closer to that thing, and then we're gonna end up like falling in it." She's like, "All right, man." So then we move a little bit, but somehow like we still end up over there, and then out of nowhere, I push myself to get up, and as I put my hand down, I grab onto the goop. Or the basket, or whatever the container it was, and then the thing flips over, and it spills all over my white hoodie, just the sleeve. So then it was covered in goop, and I lift it up, and like the goop is just like dripping down.
Yeah.
And then everybody stops what they're doing, and they all just stare at me, and I have goop in my hand.
Yeah, it's nasty. It was like I have the picture of the goop, but it's like hard to explain. It's like maple syrup, but like
green.
Yeah, green, and like thicker.
Like fungal growth on top of it.
Yeah.
It was weird. But yeah, that's the goop story.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it was as entertaining as it was sad for me. Next question.
This one's by Will Huldry. When will we see Angron again? I assume as a demon Primarch, and do you think he'll come with Khorne or World Eater specific codex?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's confirmed he is a demon prince. You can see images of what he looks like. For the longest time, I thought he had like dreads, but those were actually his butcher's nails. Yeah.
He's gonna come probably next year.
That'd be pretty cool.
Next question comes from what?
Oh, this question. G Mitten. How many tires does Gersh have in his backyard?
Currently, none. In the past, 5.
Yeah, this dude was hella tired. That's why he yawns so much in these videos.
Alright, next question comes from Wop Marco. What chapter, other than the Black Templars, see the Emperor as divine?
That's pretty much it.
Well, you could make the argument that the
No,
salamanders...
that's it.
Well, the salamanders, they believe in the
Promethean cult.
Yeah, which is kind of like the Emperor.
But like some of them are captured, like they're like captured by Trazian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they still believe in the Emperor.
I believe. I'm in too deep.
It's that goop.
Last question.
DFool06. If a Kroot ate Shrek, what powers would that Kroot have?
Doesn't Shrek like fart and people die or something like that?
Jeez, that's a little much.
But I think that's his thing, though, right?
I think they'll be able to like shed. Like ogres are like onions; they have many layers. And he'd be able to like transform into a human because Shrek did that.
And he can say the donkey thing.
Donkey.
Yeah. For really, I'm not gonna tell you guys because you guys are gonna like go crazy over that. I'm not even gonna say it. All right, those were the questions for today. Thank you for sending those questions our way. If you have more questions for us, comment down below.
As always, we get to the ones that say question in front of the question. So do that, and we'll get to that question. Sound Alchemist.
Gersh 1.
And we're out of here.